Vols are back.
Yeah. Money make the world go round. I'm trying to get it all right now. Everybody worry about the crown being. Look, homie, I'm the man right now. Talking to a peon, kind of time we on. Jump roll like the kind of take eons. Got a little buzz, it's time to go beyond. Can't look back, no time to hit rewind. Yeah, she wants to do S class. I'm like, boo, you must ask. They pour way too much in your glass. Just move your hips like a whole up class. Hit the gab, I talk that gap. Strut like up, man, I walk that shit. When I'm up, that's it. I'ma start living reckless. Get that bag, I'ma walk like this. Yeah, I'ma walk like this. Hit that lane, I'ma walk like this. Walk in the spot, but they all get lit. Tell them on flow, let me talk my shit. Every song bang when they drop in hit. Stand on the man, post stop, no miss. Over your head, next time, don't slip. Play your part, better read that script. Yeah, I'ma walk like this.
Yeah, all right. You made it here perfectly on time. Switch the mic up. All right. Yeah, I'm making this on a whim because I was working on the college football chaos, so that should be out by Wednesday. But anyway, oi, fellow comrades, it is Squidtard here along with my boys, Mr. Lucas Sharp and Julio Rodriguez, and welcome to the next episode of the Vol Star Podcast. Unfortunately, once again, Mr. Sifs cannot join us today. So unfortunate there, but the three of us will do our part here on the show, and we'll see what we can do with it. So first of all, how are my co-hosts doing tonight?
Yeah, I'm doing fine.
Doing good.
Short and to the
sorry.
point. Oh, you're good.
Sorry, I was a little bit late. I practically made it just in time. I was trying to find a remote so I could watch Raw while I'm doing this.
Sir, we were 3 minutes late on this show because you had to find your TV remote.
Wait, I thought I told you that.
Yeah. I said
You're fired.
I'm sorry.
Bye-bye, Julio.
But anyway, of course, welcome to, what is this, episode 59? Episode 59, yes, that is correct, of the Vol Star Podcast. We're through week 5, and of course I'll be talking about it throughout the college football chaos thing. And now I'm actually splitting it up into 2 parts, and you'll see why once the first part comes out. So stay tuned for that in the future. Of course, I'll get back to doing preview and hate videos since we got the Piggies coming up. And the Vols are in the top 5, which is very, very nice. I'm actually number 4 in the nation. So very, very, very nice. Yeah, that's really it for us. Of course, as always, I'll go ahead and get this out of the way so I don't have to say it in the future. If this is your first time on the Vol Star Podcast, we're glad to have you over here, whether or not you're a Vol fan or not. Of course, we aren't affiliated with the University of Tennessee in any sort of way. We're just big-time Tennessee volunteer football fans who are high and mighty coming off a 4-0 start to the season or sitting at top 5 in the country. So, stick around is all I can say. We have a great time on here, the 3 of us, or more, the 4 of us usually. But, you know. Yeah, stick around, have a great time over here, and if you feel any incentive to donate to the channel, there is a super chat button down below, and for every single dollar received in donations, I'll be doing a push-up for every dollar. And, and by the way, the Patreon supporters, shout out to the Patreon supporters, and I'll go ahead and mention those. First off, how about this season, fellas? What a crazy week of college football, huh?
Yeah, pretty insane watching, of course, Kentucky beat on Ole Miss. That was pretty crazy. Is Ole Miss? It makes you wonder if Ole Miss is frauds, or if Kentucky is secretly actually good.
Well, see, here's the thing. With the way Stoops plays ball, it's always bound to muck up a game for at least one highly ranked team a year. As you can tell by the way they played against Georgia, by the way Kentucky just plays football. It's just kind of just designed to muck the game up and get you off your game just because of how they play. The only team that I ever see really, I guess, completely dominate usually against them would probably be us, but even we somewhat struggle in Lexington sometimes, since we usually go up there late in the year when it's a lot colder than a lot of other SEC cities.
Yeah, we
Right.
usually, because especially we usually play them at nighttime, so that definitely makes it a lot colder.
Just like we're probably doing this year.
Yeah, we always play Kentucky at night.
Knowing the Black
Yeah.
Yankees are coming out.
Yeah, the last time I remember we played Kentucky, like, actually during daytime was all the way back in 2020, and of course we lost that one. But.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
All right, looking at the comments. Ooh, excuse me. Looking at the comments real quick. Hudson Dean's here. He says, I don't care if we are the best team or not. We cannot look past Arkansas. Go Vols. Absolutely right.
Agreed.
Cannot look past any opponents on our schedule. DeMonte, what's going on, buddy? Eric B. Jones, how you doing, man? Ian Berryman, a Razorback man. Please don't beat us too bad this weekend. No promises. That's all I can say. Nate the Great's also here. What's going on, buddy? Got a lot of people here tonight, and we have this channel has popped off in the past few months. We're up to 4,000 subscribers here on Squidtard Sports, which is absolutely insane, considering this time last year I was blown away by my main channel and how that blew up. So 7,000 on the main, 4,000 on the sports channel. Way further ahead than I thought I would be goal-wise, so shout out to all of you guys watching this channel. And shout out to my Patreon supporters, Mr. Joe Blow and the King of War 541. Shout out to the two of y'all. If you guys feel like joining the Patreon as well for early access to videos and maybe a link to the Volstar podcast so that you can join the show with us, it is in the description if you feel interested in joining that. So check that out if you can. All right, well, we got a lot to go over, fellas, and not a lot of time to do it. So let's get started, shall we? So week 5 is already through and over with for the college football season, and wow, we had a lot to go. We've got a lot to go over. So I guess we'll start out with what we've sort of been discussing. In my opinion, I think Ole Miss is fraudulent. I'm just throwing that out there. And
Well,
of course, I had to describe this one. Of course, the moment Lane Kiffin is in a situation where he's not beating up on cupcake opponents like Popeyes East, immediately it's all right. My leg! Oh, woo! That's literally 20 of the. It's every time. 20 of those players went down last night. In that Kentucky game, and literally we saw it. Jackson Dart was like, "Go down, go down, go down." They're driving, go down. Oh,
yeah, especially that one injury when it seems like he literally pointed at the running back. The running back's just sitting there like there. He's like, "Huh?" And he's like, "Go down." He's like, "Oh, okay."
See, people are finally seeing what we saw back all the way back in 2021 and might understand why we threw mustard bottles and golf balls at them.
And it only took them going against Kentucky, but not Tennessee though. Mm-hmm. When they take on Tennessee, nobody notices it, but when they take on somebody else, they notice it.
Well, they're going to notice it a whole lot more because they're not even trying to make it like in the game, they weren't even trying to make it seem like they were actually injured. They're not even faking it anymore. They're literally, I mean, they are faking it, but they aren't making it look like it's real. They're just doing it for the hell of it. I don't understand how there's not a rule against it. Or at the bare minimum, make the guys sit out for a drive. Then Lane Kiffin, he won't be like, he won't be doing that. He won't be, because there's no consequences to it. It's just completely unethical. But that's no shocker coming from Lane Kiffin.
Yeah, there definitely needs to be a rule, whether they be sit out for the rest of the drive, whether they sit out for the entire quarter or something like that.
Right.
Or sit out for the next 5 drives. They need to do something.
Julio, let me know. Tell me what you think about this. Mr. Cynical just said, Ole Miss is the Dallas Cowboys of the SEC.
I mean, at least the Cowboys actually somewhat do something in the not in the playoffs, but the regular season. Ole Miss usually falters at least. Cowboys usually at least get to the playoffs.
And then
they choke, but for what I'm saying, they at least get to the playoffs at least.
Hey man, I'm not gonna say much of anything. The Saints for.
I mean, if I were to compare them to another sports team that I root for, it'd probably be the Mariners. Get a bunch of hype, don't make the playoffs.
All right.
Yeah, and No, all of our NFL teams suck, so we can move on from that.
Yeah. Don't look at me.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah. No. You're like the Mississippi State of the NFL right now.
Please don't tell me that, please. I know
Okay,
the Titans are absolutely garbage.
How about this? I believe we can all agree that the top 5 right now is pretty obvious. In no particular order: Alabama, Georgia, Tennessee, Texas, and Ohio State. We all agree on that, right?
Yep, those are the 5 best teams. I know a lot of people are getting mad at Ohio State because, they haven't really played anybody so far.
Uh-huh.
But the thing is, I still think Ohio State's a really good team. I mean, they literally recruit in the top 5 every single season.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'm way more impressed with what I saw with Ohio State against Michigan State than what I saw with the other supposed top 5 team, that being Miami against Virginia Tech. Because we all know they should have lost. Any disagreements on that?
They should have. I mean, that Hail Mary, it was 50-50. It could have gone either way.
Sure.
But they rolled it a touchdown, and it was undisputable. You have to stick with the call.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's what the rule is. You called it a touchdown, and it was indisputable video evidence. You have to stick with the call.
Yeah. And that wasn't there wasn't indisputable evidence against it. If somebody tries to tell you that, they're wrong. There wasn't. It was a 50-50 call, and they called in favor of Virginia Tech, and then they suddenly reversed it just based on absolutely nothing.
Well, see, so I looked at it from a bunch of different angles, and there was where the ball came out a little bit, but it was laying on top of a Virginia Tech player, which at least to me seems like that, and it was his hand was right there, so it looked like he still had it. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, I don't know. It's just one of those where they probably should have just stuck with the call on the field.
Right. I mean, I'm sure there are Miami shows that are spending 2-3 hours discussing the schematics of where the footballs dropped and how it was in favor of Miami and not Virginia Tech. But we're not going to do a 2-hour show discussing that because the bottom line is they called it a touchdown and there wasn't irrefutable evidence to overturn it, and they did it anyway. That's the problem.
Yeah, it was the college football of the Hail Mary.
Uh-huh. And fun fact about that game, the referees who are part of that, Jerry whoever, is the same official that was a part of the 2015 Duke-Miami game. And for the sakes of us here on the podcast, he's also the same official that was part of the Music City Bowl back in 21 when we faced Purdue and got called for pass interference every time we farted.
Well.
Yeah. Shocker, I know. Crazy. A part of another controversial result. I know, crazy. It's baffling to that guy, and that officiating crew is the Angel Hernandez of officiating crews in football. Tell me if I'm wrong.
You're probably wrong.
If I remember that Duke Miami game, is that the one where they had 5 different lateral passes
super
that
lateral,
weren't laterals?
Yeah, I think that's what it was.
Uh-huh.
They got blockers. They got a lane.
Can you believe what you just saw? Yeah, it was
literally you could literally see one of their knees were down on the replay. If they bothered to review it, there was a dude when he pitched it, both his knees were down.
Mm-hmm.
It was the most obvious shit of all time.
Who else but Jerry? That's all I can say, and I'm going to be saying that for a lot of the points this season because I'm sure there's going to be more controversial games with him as the officiating crew. It's just pathetic, ridiculous. Miami should not be undefeated right now, and I feel like they know it. And whether or not they show it in their next few games, we'll have to find out. Thankfully, they're in the ACC, so that kind of says it for itself. They're going to game day next week. They got Cal. We'll see. We'll talk about that one later. Penn State beat Illinois. Who's shocked by that outcome? And once again, Illinois in a big-time game craps on themselves.
Hey, they covered the spread.
Whoop-de-friggin' do. Come on. They cover the spread every time they play one of their games. The only difference is they're Iowa. That's what they are. They're Iowa. They try and beat teams by getting 12 pick sixes in a game, and they can't do it. because their
Wait,
offense can't get a first
Who are you
down.
talking about?
Illinois.
Yeah.
Oh, Illinois. Yeah, I thought you were going to talk about Oklahoma and how they got a pick six that won them the game. Whenever
Yeah.
you said that.
That too,
But
yeah.
but yeah, I still think Illinois is a decent team. I think Penn State actually looks pretty good this year.
I'll say this: I think they have a decent shot in 2 weeks or 3 weeks because they're on a bye this week. They got Michigan coming up in 3 weeks, and they did not look good either. They started out strong, but then Minnesota came all the way back, and then Michigan, of course, got bailed out by that call by the onside kick because that should have been Minnesota's ball.
Yeah.
We all know it.
Yeah, if Penn State wants to finally beat Michigan this year, this has to be finally the year they finally do it.
Well, they don't play Michigan. I don't think.
But I thought they play Michigan.
No, they don't play Michigan this year. They don't.
Wait, you talking about Penn State?
Yeah. You
Yeah.
said this has to be the year that Penn State beats Michigan. They don't play Michigan this year. They play Ohio State and they play USC.
Oh yeah, they play Ohio State. Then they're going 11-1.
I mean, here's the thing: they got to at least beat either Ohio State. They either at least got to win all their games. They can't slip up against anyone except for Ohio State if they want to make the playoffs. I think.
Yeah, they're not beating Ohio State until I see them do it again.
Right, it's like the James Franklin thing, you know. Unless you see it, you don't believe it.
Yeah. The last time they beat Ohio State was back in 2015 when they had that blocked field goal and they returned it for a touchdown.
Mm-hmm. You know who I'm really disappointed in after watching them this week? I'm really disappointed in Utah. I expected a whole lot more out of that team, and they let me down. They're terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Big 12 is a wide open conference.
Well, you know, it looks like BYU's conference. That's what it looks like.
That's crazy. The freaking Mormons right now are considered the best team in the Big 12.
Either that or Iowa State.
Yeah, but see, that's the other thing. Do we really trust Matt Campbell? Because I mean, here's the thing with Matt Campbell. His two biggest things that he struggled with was Oklahoma and Texas, and he beat them. I think he beat each of them. Well, I think he beat Oklahoma one or two times, and Texas once.
Yeah,
so
but
since they're not in the conference anymore, I feel like Iowa State should probably maybe win a Big 12 championship finally. That sounds crazy saying it.
We'll see. They've got a long ways to go, and they didn't look strong against Houston, who's not very good. So I'm not counting it yet. Especially, they've got two pretty hard games at the end of the season between Utah on the road and Kansas State at home. So
yeah,
we'll
but now.
Here's the thing with with especially with Iowa State. Matt Campbell, they play down to their competition. No matter how bad it is, almost all the time. Unless it's a lower tier FCS school that they beat up on, they play down to them.
They're a hard-fought defensive team, and they share a lot of similarities to Utah in the fact that they're a well-coached team with a talent deficit compared to the big-time champions and big-time programs. The only difference is Utah, their quarterback can't go a single drive without getting hurt again. So it looks like Cam Rising's heading toward his 15th year of eligibility.
Well, see, here's the thing. At least with Iowa State, I think maybe they should be able to get a little bit more recruits if they actually start, at least, I don't know, getting some 10-win seasons in the Big 12 if they can do it. But see, here's the thing. If you let UCF get rolling in that conference and getting 10-win seasons, you can they're probably going to be the power of the Big 12.
Well, that ain't happening
because they have. So. Well, not happening this year, but you know what I'm saying, though. Because they practically have Florida to them. Well, not to themselves, but you get what I'm saying.
They have Orlando. You should be able to sell Orlando.
Yeah, and I mean that's what I'm saying. They don't they can tap into the Florida recruits a lot more than every other Big 12 team because they're so separate from almost everyone else in the conference.
Mhm.
It's kind of like how Arizona could tap in. Like if Arizona or Arizona State could get good in that conference, they could tap in probably to California, unlike a lot of those other schools, except for maybe Utah or BYU. But with BYU, you gotta convince them to come to a Mormon school, which is always kind of a big thing.
Yeah, we'll see. The Big 12, I think, is going to be a very, very interesting race. And more than likely, it's going to be that conference where somebody new wins it every single year. So, yeah, it's going to be fun to watch for sure. So, yeah, that was fun. Of course, Auburn lost again. Shocking revelation. And Oklahoma, even though they won, still sucks and is the worst team of all time since Tennessee beat them. The four worst teams in America right now: Chattanooga, NC State, Kent State, and Oklahoma. Those are the four worst teams in all of America right now. There's not anybody worse than that. Well, apparently Auburn and Northern Illinois are worse since they lost to NC State and Oklahoma, but that doesn't matter. They got lucky. The four worst teams right there. Tennessee still hasn't played anybody. There ain't no good. They still suck, and wait until they play a real team. Which, according to the people that are screaming that, there's only one real team on our schedule. So, yeah, keep.
Let me
it
guess,
open.
Alabama.
The only undefeated team left on our schedule.
But yeah, I mean, Oklahoma, their defense definitely clutched up there at the end. I think it just shows how good Oklahoma's defense really is this year. Because when they needed to step up, they did.
Well, that and Peyton Thorne is just—he's not good.
Yeah, Peyton Thorne.
Can you imagine if Auburn actually would have ponied up the money and tried to get into the Cam Ward sweepstakes?
If Auburn right now had Dylan Gabriel instead of Oregon, they might be undefeated right now. They might have. They could have beaten Georgia next week. Speaking of Georgia, let's talk about that game, shall we? Well, first of all, that was game of the year right there, without a doubt.
Yeah.
Really, really good game. Really fun game to watch in the second half, of course. Now, I was, clutching my butt throughout the entire second half because, of course, I made a video after the end of the first half really popping off on Georgia fans, trolling them. Because, as we know, Georgia fans have given me more hell on here than any other fan base. So I wanted my chance at, getting some rags in on them. And Alabama very, very well could have wound up screwing that up for me. And if I thought for a minute that Georgia fans are bad before I made that video, imagine how bad it would be after I made a video clowning on them. Bama goes out and loses. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that was bad.
A lifetime of crow.
But yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I'm actually pretty happy Alabama won there because I also made a video as well talking trash about Georgia. Yep. I was like, oh, look at Bama. They're up 28-0. I was like, Georgia, you guys deserve every single bit of this beatdown. You guys can't keep Tennessee out of your mouths or anything. And then, of course, they started coming.
They still can't.
And then they started coming back, and I was like, oh, God. And I was actually rooting for Alabama. Because at least most Alabama fans I've encountered are actually pretty cool. All the Georgia fans I've encountered are not cool at all. They all suck.
I've met some good Georgia fans. The few Georgia fans I've been talking to have been telling me things like it's time. Before the second half rolled around, they were like, "All right, it's time to fire Kirby Smart." They were completely off the deep end, ready to jump out a window. That's how mad they were. They were just so because Carson Beck looked absolutely horrific in the first half.
Hey! Don't let this game distract you from the fact that Ryan Williams is only 17 years old.
Oh, really? Well, who would have known?
Oh my God! Oh my God! I didn't know that.
Oh, you guys did. You guys didn't know that? Are you sure? Let me tell you again. He's only 17 years old.
I'm baffled, really. That's going to be the new Cody Schrader. Remember every time Cody Schrader ran the ball, it was Cody Schrader. He came from a D3, D2 program, and then he rolled on into Missouri. Every single time he ran the ball.
Yeah, it's like Cody Schrader, former D2 walk-on, is like, How many times have you mentioned that? Or go back to the 22 Orange Bowl. Here's Cade Klubnik's parents. Here's his
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
like, oh
You
my
know,
god.
yeah, you know it's bad when even Bama fans are complaining about it.
Yeah, I know. It was something, all right. I mean, Bama fans should be really, really concerned that they almost blew that lead because they were up by such a big time margin. And all the credit in the world to Georgia for actually not giving up because most other teams in that situation would have called it quits for the day. But no, Georgia rallied together somehow and got the win for 13 seconds before they lost it again, thanks to the
Well,
17-year-old.
well, see, the thing is though is that I don't know if you've ever watched when Kalen DeBoer was at Washington. He likes to play with his food a lot and almost let teams come back on him. And I pointed that out to people. And I told Alabama fans, I said, if you jump out to like a lead like on Texas or Tennessee or someone or Ohio State, and you jump out to a lead against them and you start trying to fool around and get cute and everything, I said it's going to come back to bite you in the ass. I said
That's
he
right.
literally almost did that against Texas in the bowl game, and I said the only reason it didn't come back to bite him was because Texas couldn't hold on to the fucking ball. They fumbled like 3 times.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only reason they won that game is because Texas's running backs couldn't hold on to it.
Right. It was something, all right, I'll tell you. Well, the result stands. Bama holds on to survive. Ryan Williams is probably winning 2 or 3 Heismans before he goes on to the NFL. Right now, he could be literally the only freshman to go to the NFL. Like, he could if he wanted to, but I know he won't.
Yeah.
He's going to be sticking around for a while. So we'll see how that plays out. But, of
Right.
course, Georgia's in desperation mode now because they needed to win this one, and now they've got some really, really tough games, and they've got to win 2 of the 3 in order
Well,
to make the
They
playoffs.
they got to go to Austin,
Yeah,
and then they also got to go to Ole Miss, but they do get us at home.
right. And
They gotta
they've
win at
got to
least.
win 2 of the 3 of those, and if they don't, they're done. They won't make the playoffs
Yeah.
at 9-3.
Yeah, they gotta win at least 2 of those.
Right. So we'll be keeping an eye on that for sure. And more than likely now with Bama winning, they're going to be College Game Day is going to be heading to Knoxville over Austin. So good job on that. Thank you for doing that. Appreciate it. Give us some more national relevance while you're at it. Yeah.
But here's the thing. I guess we'll finally figure out what Georgia's really made of against a good team. I mean, we know what they're made of with Alabama, but what I'm saying is like when their back is against the wall at Texas, who's supposed to be one of the top 2 teams. How are they going to respond to that? Since they don't really have much room for error at this point.
We'll see it in Austin because they've got 2 home games against Auburn and Mississippi State, and
We'll see. That's what I'm saying.
Forget Auburn. Oh boy.
I'm not trying to discredit Auburn and Mississippi State, but it's like, let's be honest here. They're not really the best programs at the moment.
They're not the best teams at the moment. They're gonna get disemboweled, so we'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll see how that plays out. Oh, and
Yeah,
another thing. So I guess we'll move on to this. I've been hearing a lot of talk about Ashton Jeanty from Boise State. The dude's been killing it out there, and if Boise State wounds up getting into the playoffs, he could potentially be the Heisman Trophy winner. So.
Right. Yeah. Right now, he is my Heisman front runner. I think right now he is the best player in all of college football.
Right. Well, the arguments that I heard against him was that he ain't played nobody, and I'm like, okay, so Oregon's a nobody now. Undefeated Washington State is a nobody. Like, where's that coming from? That doesn't make much sense.
And he's been literally getting over 200 yards. It seems like every single game.
Right. Hold on, I need an audio check. Excuse me.
I mean,
Somebody
yeah.
say
I
it,
mean,
don't hear me.
also looking at Barry Sanders. If you look at the games he played whenever he had that huge, year, all those rushing yards and rushing touchdowns. I mean, he he didn't really like against what was it? I think he had 2 losses, and that was to Nebraska and I think Oklahoma, if I remember
I
correctly.
have a save for this. Boom.
I mean,
This
you
is what
can
I'm gonna
look
do.
it up.
All right, so I moved the location of my microphone, and I probably need to just start doing this for all my live shows. I have to move the keyboard, which sucks, but I guess there's not much I can do about that. But yeah, I moved the mic over here. I'd rather do that than raise the volume, because then it would just sound like, and I don't think you want to hear that the entire time. So, okay. Anyway, yeah, no. So that's pretty interesting. Oh, and by the way, Florida State check swung themselves into another loss, so good for them.
Man, Cal, y'all really fumbled hard. Florida State could be 0-5 right now, but you just
Very well
had to
could.
lose to them.
Yeah. Whatever you want to say about Peyton Thorne, that and everything else bad about every other quarterback in the country applies to DJ. The ukulele is, oh my gosh, he's terrible.
Yeah, I literally take anybody over DJ.
Right. Yeah. Okay then. Well, we're 30 minutes past, so it's time to go over week 6 and everything that's going to happen there. Obviously, we're not going to have the time in the world to cover every single game. And before we roll into this slate of games, of course, some of you probably know this, but most of you probably don't. Me, Lucas, and Julio, the three of us, made a bet before the start of the season between 3 different meme teams: UTEP, Central Michigan, and Rice. Me being UTEP, him being Central Michigan, and then Rice being down there. And we made a bet to see which one of those mean teams will have the best record by the end of the season. The winner gets paid $60 total. We each paid $20. And it's looking like Lucas is going to get paid because, boy, oh boy, UTEP and Rice are garbage. And Central Michigan got a come-from-behind victory over Charlotte. So, yeah, they're 3-2 right now. They're way ahead of UTEP and Rice. So, more than likely, I'm done. Rice is a very slim chance. So I'll give it a bit of time. But if we're halfway through, more than halfway through the season and things don't change, then yeah, we'll just go ahead and hand Lucas the cash and move on with our day. But yeah, no, congratulations on the big win, Central.
I'm
Michigan.
not giving up until I'm fully eliminated.
Yeah, right. We'll see. Time will tell. Time will really tell. That is the truth.
We'll see.
Yeah.
This Central Michigan like 2-2.
3-2.
3-2. Yeah. That win against Charlotte propelled them way further than the two of us. Because right now, UTEP's 0-4 and Rice is 1-4. So, and we play Sam Houston this following week. So.
Oh yeah, that's a loss. Look at Sam Houston; they've been really good.
Yeah, everything's a loss. Let's be real. Oh, let me. My bad. Let me go ahead and transition.
You know what's crazy? UTEP actually have only in 2006 or 7 was actually ranked in the preseason top 25 if I remember correctly.
I guess Squidtard needs to get a time machine and go back to those times.
Yeah, man, I would like that. I would really like my $60 or my $40 in return. That's what I get for believing in UTEP. They're terrible. See, 0-4. That tells you everything you need to know. How you guys feeling about the matchup with Arkansas? We'll talk about that at the end of the stream. We usually hold off on talking about the Tennessee game until after we talk about all the other games. So we will roll into that right at the end of this the stream. All right, well, I guess we'll start out with the Houston TCU. Who y'all got? I got TCU.
Yeah, TCU. Houston is bad. Houston's really bad.
Very bad.
Yeah,
yes.
I think I'll take TCU.
Gotcha.
I mean, if it was Houston back in 2015, 2016, then I'd probably pick Houston because Houston was really good back then, but now they're awful.
Right, they're terrible. Absolutely terrible. All right, next up, Michigan State and Oregon. Oregon, a 24-point favorite. Feel like this is self-explanatory here, but I think Oregon wins. But I do think Michigan State covers.
Yeah, I think I'm going to take Oregon on that.
Yeah, Oregon.
All right. This is a great one right here. The Friday night football, UNLV and Syracuse. So Syracuse is 3-1, but UNLV is a 6-point favorite and undefeated, and is also now in the top 25. Interesting stuff here. Here y'all got.
That's actually kind of crazy. I don't remember the last time UNLV was ranked, if they were ever ranked.
It was in the '80s whenever they had Randall Cunningham. That's how long ago it's been.
But yeah, I guess give me UNLV. They're looking pretty good right now, even with their starting quarterback. Redshirting and opting out for the rest of the season to transfer. Their backups actually been looking pretty good as well. So give me UNLV.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna take UNLV too. Mostly because their back, like you just said, their backup looked good too, and plus I even think he might even look better than Saluka because he is even a little bit more mobile.
Right. Right. So maybe that decision for him to leave because he wasn't getting paid was the best. I mean. So we'll see how that goes. And yes, I am picking UNLV to win. So we'll see if they live up to my expectations. All right, UCLA and Penn State. Penn State 27.5-point favorites. Who y'all got?
Penn State.
Penn State.
UCLA,
Yeah,
not very good.
All right. There you go. That's all there is to say about that one. All right. Ranked SEC matchup here. Number 9, Missouri, going on the road to play number 25, Texas A&M. Texas A&M is a 2-point favorite in this matchup in College Station. Who y'all got?
Oh, God. I usually hate betting on this team because they usually, even though people always say they have a good home environment, they always lose there, it seems like. But give me Texas A&M. I just don't trust Missouri. Like, I know A&M doesn't look the best, but they at least look a little bit better than what Missouri has going on riding the struggle bus against Vandy and Boston College.
Yeah. For those reasons, give me A&M. They're on a 4-game winning streak right now, and I think they're about to make it 5.
Yep. I'm going with A&M. I think this will be a shootout, but I think Le'Veon Moss is just going to roll over this Missouri defense enough to get the W. It'll be close, but I think A&M's going to pull it out. All right, SMU and number 22, Louisville. Louisville a touchdown favorite in this matchup. SMU looked really good against Florida State, but then again, it is Florida State. So tell me who y'all got in this one.
I don't know if this would really be considered an upset, but I think I'm going to take SMU. They've been playing some pretty good ball as of late.
Yeah, I'm going to take SMU as well. Julio? All right, we'll just throw him down for SMU and then call it. All right.
Wait. What was the matchup? It was SMU Louisville.
Louisville. Yeah.
Okay, sorry. I had someone yelling at me or whatever. My uncle. I think I'm gonna take Louisville.
All right, sounds good.
Sorry
all right,
about that.
Cool. All right, yeah. I hear you. All right, Boston College and Virginia. Both these teams sitting with pretty good records. Virginia, a 2.5-point favorite at home. This is going to be a good one, I think. Who y'all got?
Oh, this game's weird. I know Boston. I would pick Boston College, but they struggled against Western Kentucky.
Flip a coin.
I guess since it's at Virginia, I guess give me Virginia. I don't know. This game could go either way.
So what's the records for both these teams?
4-1.
Virginia's
3-1.
Yeah.
I think I'm probably gonna take Boston College because I know they struggled with Western Kentucky, but I mean Western Kentucky's usually a pretty good group of 5 team usually, or at least semi good. So I think I'm gonna just take them.
Yeah, I'm a roll of Boston College, too. I think they get the job done on the road. I just think they're a better team overall. All right, Pittsburgh and North Carolina. Undefeated Pittsburgh, by the way. They're 3-point favorites on the road at Chapel Hill. I'm telling you this right now. I'm rolling with Pittsburgh. I've not liked what I've seen from North Carolina these past few weeks. And I think the way things have been panning out for them, I think, I think Matt Brown might be out the door pretty soon.
Yeah, I think I'm going to take Pitt as well. They've actually looked like a pretty solid team so far. North Carolina hasn't impressed me. I'm taking Pitt.
Yeah, I hate to. It seems like a circle jerk at this point, but
okay.
I'm taking Pitt too.
All right, thanks for that. All right, we're gonna skip that one. That's a CW network. Nobody cares. All right, Iowa and Ohio State. So Ohio State a 20.5-point favorite at home. Ohio State probably going to roll with this one. I'm taking them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Ohio State.
I have to take Ohio State. If it was in Iowa, I might take Iowa. I
Come
might
on,
have took
don't
Iowa.
stop. You
No,
would not take
stop.
Iowa. Quit that.
Dude, Iowa
No.
cannot be that tough of a place to play.
No, I mean Ohio State. Do you know the two places they almost always lose at on the road? It's usually historically they struggle three places on the road. The Big House, but I mean in Iowa, and then Purdue. Those like the
Tennessee
three
always
places.
lost at Oklahoma until last week or the week before.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm just saying. I think I might have considered taking them. I probably still took Ohio State, but since it's Ohio State in the horseshoe, I think Ohio State wins.
Big time. Big time. All right. Let me guess, Julio. You'd pick Auburn to win if it were at Jordan Hare.
No, I wouldn't, because Auburn sucks right now.
Good. I'm picking Georgia to win big here.
Yeah, Georgia.
Yeah, Georgia.
Big time. All right. This is a tough one to pick. Ole Miss, who had the embarrassing loss at home to Kentucky last week, against South Carolina, who blew out Kentucky. So, transitive property there. Ooh, scary. Who y'all got?
I know South Carolina fans are definitely happy that, Kentucky was able to lay off, get rid of like some of the pressure off of Ole Miss or whatever. And I think South Carolina, and plus they have them at home and stuff like that. I don't know. It's kind of hard for me to talk right now for some reason.
Hard for you to talk. Okay, well, I'll give you some time to think about it. I'll make my pick right now. I'm rolling with the Gamecocks at home. I think they've been playing some pretty good football these past few weeks. And Ole Miss, I just really don't trust them. I think the defensive line is going to be in Jackson Dart's face the entire game. And I think they get a bunch of pressure and probably a few picks there too. I think they get the job done at home. Give me the Gamecocks.
Yeah, I think I'm going to take the Gamecocks too.
I guess I'll take Ole Miss.
You're going to roll with the Rebels. All right. Gotcha. All right. Undefeated and ranked for the first time in a very long time. This is Indiana's first time being 5-0 in 50 years. Number 23, Indiana, on the road at Northwestern. They win one more game and they're going bowling. They're 13.5-point favorites on the road. Who y'all got?
Indiana.
I'm rolling with the Hoosiers.
All right,
Yep,
Hoosiers it is.
Kirk Ignetti, baby. Kirk Ignetti.
All right. Good stuff. All right, skip that one. It's ACC Network. Nobody going to be able to watch it. All right, 4 o'clock, Rutgers and Nebraska. Only one loss combined between these two teams in Week 6. That's pretty impressive. But yeah, Nebraska is a touchdown favorite at home against undefeated Rutgers. Can Dylan Raiola hold off the Rutgers defense, or will the Scarlet Knights prevail to 5-0? Who y'all got?
I don't know. I would pick. This is definitely a tough one to call. Nebraska does have Rutgers at home, but then Nebraska lost to freaking Illinois at home, which I know Illinois is not a bad team, but I think Nebraska is still a better team than Illinois, even though they lost.
Wait, is Rutgers ranked?
No, but if they win this game, they might be.
They probably will be.
Okay, I think since they're not ranked, because Nebraska for some reason can't beat ranked teams, I think they're going to go with Nebraska since they're not ranked.
I guess it's a fair point. Give me Nebraska.
And I'll take the Cornhuskers as well. I just think they're a way more talented team. I like the fact that Rutgers is undefeated, but I just don't really see that holding up against a team like Nebraska, who is way more improved than they were years previous. All right, West Virginia and Oklahoma State, both these teams desperately needing a win. Oklahoma State a 4-point favorite at home. Who y'all got?
Man, Oklahoma State, what are y'all doing? Winless in Big 12 play? You kidding me, bro? And people were picking you to win the Big 12 this year.
I'll tell you this, and I'll go ahead and make my pick first. I think it stands. I think Oklahoma State stays winless in conference play. I think West Virginia wins on the road. I think Oklahoma State is the better team, but I think West Virginia is playing better football, so I think they get the job done.
I don't know. I don't know about Neil Brown. But yeah.
Yeah, I think I want to go with West Virginia. I'm not a big fan of Alan Bowman. And plus, Ollie Gordon has not bothered to show. I don't know if it's Ollie Gordon being ass or if it's his offensive line that came block.
Well, they know he's going to run it. It's that thing where they know that they're going to run it every single time because they don't have a passing game. Alan Bowman cannot throw.
Yeah, I don't know why they decided to stick with Alan Bowman. I would take Zane Flores or fucking Garrett Rangel over him, or the other two quarterbacks. I'm pretty sure Lucas can attest to Garrett Rangel. You remember that, Lucas?
Yeah.
Anyway, who y'all picking to win?
I guess I'll take Oklahoma State since you guys are taking West Virginia.
Okay, dude, we get it. Your car is solid. Sounds so cool. There's this guy with this really loud car. I don't know him personally, but he's got this really, really loud car engine. Every night I hear him revving it. So that's how I know he's leaving to go somewhere. Anyway, yeah, we can move on from this one. We can also... Oh, Alabama,
Wait.
You're next.
Give me the Crimson Tide.
Yeah, Alabama. All right. We don't have enough time for jokes. Let's go.
I don't give a piss about nothing but the time.
Yeah, speaking of jokes. Oh, boy. How bad is this one going to be?
Yeah, it's going to be pretty bad.
It's going to be ugly.
You know what? You know what? Give me Florida State. I think this is when DJ shows up. This is going to be my...
Stop.
You had to go for that one.
I have to. I'm praying for a DJU masterclass versus Clemson.
So wait, so you're actually picking Florida State to win?
Yes.
Get him out of here. Get him out.
Yeah, we're clowning you for that one next week. For just so you know, you might be clown of the week next week. Lucas, who you got?
I'm taking Clemson.
As you should.
Hey, Hoyle, how about this? If Florida State somehow wins, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm definitely not doing what that one dude did, taking
I was like, no,
five-layer burrito.
I'm not doing that. No, I'm not.
I don't know. How about this? If Florida State wins, I'll cash up you $20. How about that?
Oh, no. If you're going to make a bet like that on here, it's got to be something that we can be entertained by. It's got to be something more than money. What?
I mean, I don't know. I don't
know. What's an embarrassing punishment? That's something that, isn't disgusting.
How about this? Would you still be picking Florida State, Julio, if I told you that if Florida State wins against Clemson, you have to reveal your face?
Wait, if Florida State wins?
Yeah. Are you still confident in riding with them?
No. No, not really.
Okay, well, if Clemson wins, you have to reveal your face. Are you still confident in them?
No, no, I'm not.
Yeah, I did think
this
so.
This is just my meme pick.
I would hope so. Dear Lord. Okay.
No, I wouldn't be. No.
Well, we'll figure out that later if at any point we make a bet on that. But yeah, Clemson wins. All right. Anyway.
Oh, I'm just the only reason I'm.
How about I'll come out here and eat a sock?
I'm praying for the DJU masterclass just to see mad Clemson fans.
You know what? How about that? If Florida State wins, I'll come on here and eat a sock. I am that confident that Florida State ain't winning this game.
Oh my god! Are you
all right,
sure
we'll hold you to that, Lucas. Good. All right, we'll hold you to that. Yeah, that's why I ain't making any bets on that. That usually falls back on me. We'll come back to that one as always. Michigan, number 10 in the nation, going on the road into Husky Stadium to face off against Washington. Washington is the favorite in this game, which I find very, very surprising. They're 2.5-point favorites at home. I'm riding against the spread. Give me Michigan.
Give me Michigan. I don't know.
Hard to believe they do. I don't know what they're thinking, but
I know Michigan can't really throw a forward pass. They run a 1940s offense, but I just don't trust Washington. They lost to Washington State, and I'm not trying to be mean to Washington State, but I feel like Michigan's a way better team, even though they can't pass.
I mean, I don't know. Michigan almost lost to Minnesota.
I just don't think Washington's line is strong enough to keep Khalil Mullings at bay. If it is, they win the game. Either two things happen in this game. One, Michigan wins in a pretty close game, or two, Washington blows them out. It all depends on whether or not they can stop the run. That's what I think.
I'm going to tell you, you know what? For giggles, give me Washington.
Okay, so you think they'll stop that run game. All right, we'll see how it goes. Okay, USC on the road against Minnesota. And considering that USC is just about as good of a team as Michigan, I think we can safely say that they're going to win this game.
Yeah, USC will win.
Yeah. What the hell's happened to Minnesota? They used to be like a middle of the pack Big Ten team under
They still
Fleck,
will be. I don't know who they're playing next, but they'll probably lose this game and then win a few more. Do that 6-6, 7-5 masterclass thing that PJ Fleck loves to do.
What happened? They were going 10-1 early in his career, almost like 10-2.
I don't know, crazy stuff. But anyway, Baylor and Iowa State. I'm telling you what, right now, going with Iowa State. If you lose to Colorado, I'm out. I'm toned out for you through the season, or tuning out for Baylor.
Iowa State.
Yeah, Iowa State.
All right, but Colorado isn't a bad team necessarily. But that's a whole nother conversation for a whole nother day. All right, here we go. So UCF on the road going to Gainesville to play the Florida Gators, and that spread alone should have Napier fired. UCF's favored by 2.5 points on the road in Gainesville. Who y'all got? This is a tough one to call. I'm going to say it right now. This is a really tough one to call.
I'm taking UCF.
Man, it seems like the whole entire season, Squid has picked Florida to win their games.
Did I really? I guess I did.
It seems like that. But...
Well, I'll tell you what. I'm not picking this time. I picked UCF to win when I thought Florida was going to be decent, and I'm picking UCF now that Florida is terrible. So give me the old fighting Knights.
Well, see the thing is, I don't think Colorado's terrible. I just don't think UCF had defensive backs to defend Travis Hunter. So
give me.
Shador Sanders ain't Graham Mertz. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, give me UCF.
Yeah. All right. Good stuff. All right. Next up, Duke and Georgia Tech. Duke is 5-0, undefeated. They're going into a hostile environment to face off against a touchdown favorite in Georgia Tech.
I wouldn't really say Georgia Tech's a hostile environment.
It's pretty hostile. It's gotten better. It's gotten way better because now they at least have a team that's respectful and not a complete joke. But anyway, that's beside the point. Who y'all got?
Give me the Blue Devils.
You know what? Yeah, give me Duke. They're gonna be 6-0. It's absolutely ridiculous. I know they played absolutely terrible competition, but they're undefeated. It's ridiculous that they haven't received at least one single vote to be ranked. Give me Duke.
Not so fast, my friend. I'm taking the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets to win this one. I think they're way more battle-tested against opponents than Duke is. And though I like Duke and what they've got going, I just think Haynes King is a better passer than what Duke has got. So I think the Jackets are going to take care of business here, and I think.
Well, this is more of just my hope pick. I kind of just want to see when does Duke play Miami? Do they play Miami? Like, what's Duke's
they do
schedule?
that. They play them towards the end of the season. I think it's like their 10th game of the year.
What's Duke's games before Miami?
I don't know. I don't know their schedule by the Palm.
Okay, I don't know. Well, I don't know. I'm just kind of hoping that Duke can go on a magical run or something before they get shell-shocked by Miami.
I don't know. We'll see.
I kind of just want to see that.
That would be pretty funny, I'll tell you what. All right. Well, anyway, speaking of Miami, here they are. Number 8 Miami on the road at Cal. This is where game day's heading, and it's a The game day's heading to a 10:30 matchup. I just realized that. That's funny. But friggin' Miami going to be playing until 3 in the friggin' morning. But yes, the Canes are 10-point favorites on the road in Cal Berkeley. This is a tough one to call.
So who are y'all taking? Are y'all taking the commies or the convicts?
Speaking of which, I heard somebody call this game woke versus Coke.
Yeah. I just wanted to get off that joke I saw on Twitter. The commies versus convicts.
I saw that. Yeah. All right. So this is a tough one to call. Who y'all got?
I got Miami. I think they'll rebound after their bad performance against Virginia Tech.
Yeah. It would be hilarious if they lost, though. That would be the most hilarious shit.
Oh, yeah. All right, yeah, I guess I'll take the Canes on that one. And then finally, Texas Tech versus Arizona. Who y'all got there?
This game could honestly go either way. Texas Tech's been playing some pretty solid ball as of late.
Mm-hmm.
This is so far looking like the type of Texas Tech team that people were hyping up last season.
Yeah, but I think that comes to a pretty big halt as I think Arizona gets the W at home. I think they're a way better team than people give them credit for. Now, of course, they had the bad loss against Kansas State, but I think that win against Utah told more about them than it did about Utah. Give me the Wildcats at home.
I think I'm going to take Arizona.
Yeah, I think I'll take Arizona as well.
Dang, you were quick to turn on Texas Tech, Lucas.
But don't get me wrong. Texas Tech's playing some solid ball, but I've been more impressed with Arizona.
All right, well,
the reason I've taken Arizona is because of how good they did against Utah, who's very hard to usually beat them.
Right. Well, we'll see how it goes for sure. And all right, well, it is finally time we get to talk about the Vols again. And we got a big one coming up. Number 4, Tennessee, undefeated after the big win on the road at Oklahoma, gets their bye week to rest, going on the road to play the Arkansas Razorbacks. We're 13.5-point favorites on the road, and the expectation is that we're going to cover that, or at least that we should cover that. I'll tell you what, I've been worried about this game before the season began because it's in a tight spot. It's between a big road game against Oklahoma, then a bye week, and then it's also between, after this game, got Florida and Alabama coming to Knoxville. It's in a very tough spot, and Josh Heupel has had the tendency of losing road games where he's not supposed to. Go back to 22, of course, the South Carolina loss, then the Florida loss the very next year. You know, it's even go back to 2021. He lost to Florida when we were, I don't remember if we were favored. I don't think we were, but nonetheless, there's just been every single year one of these games that Tennessee loses on the road, which they're not supposed to. Does he break that trend here, though? Again, Tennessee is a big-time favorite on the road, and the expectation is that they're going to take care of business. But I'll give it to y'all first. I'll give it to Lucas. Lucas, I'll start with you. How do you think this game is going to go?
Well, I think first off, the game is probably going to start slow. I think Taven Green, he's a pretty good quarterback. I'll give him credit. He's been playing pretty well, and they also have a pretty good running back. So Arkansas is going to try to run the ball on Tennessee, but like I've said on previous podcasts, that's what Tennessee's defense is pretty much really good at, is stopping the run.
Mm-hmm.
So Arkansas is going to have to try to beat Tennessee through the air, which I don't think they're going to be able to do that. I don't think they really have at least any kind of receivers to go up against our DBs. Our DBs, I feel like, are actually pretty good, especially Jacoby Thomas and, of course, Jermon McCoy have been playing exceptionally well. Nico, I think, should be able to play well against this Arkansas defense. And, of course, this team's, of course, now been road tested. Arkansas should be a tougher road environment than Oklahoma, because Oklahoma's road environment didn't really seem that scary. But I think I'm going to take Tennessee to win here. And so far, Tennessee they've covered in all of their games. Tennessee's 4-0 and 4-0 against the spread. I'm going to take Tennessee to win and cover.
All right. Julio, now it's to you. Well, first of all, real quick before we get to Julio, what was that noise I've been hearing? Okay, so it sounds like somebody's beating plastic against the floor. What is that?
I don't know.
No,
You don't
I don't
know. Okay, well, Julio's mic was muted during that, so it wasn't him.
I don't know. I thought it might have been the TV in the background that you might have heard.
Anyway,
But
you
said
go
my
ahead.
mic was
You
muted.
go ahead and
But
give your take, Julio.
anyway, what I was gonna say about Arkansas is that I think, like Lucas said, I think Taylor Green's a pretty good quarterback. The only thing is, I think he's a better runner than he is a passer. I mean, not saying he's not an extremely bad passer. He's not, Alex Orgy level bad passer. But he's good at throwing, short passes, and he does better, like whenever he throws the ball deep, but he's not very accurate on the deep ball. He's very inconsistent with it, and it's the same thing with his, intermediate passes. Same thing. He's very inconsistent. Now, when he's on, but when he's off, he's completely off. But so, and I mean, the House have a good running back, but like Lucas said, we also are very good at stopping the run. So I think as long as we can keep his legs in check, which we've seemed to do better with, dual threat quarterbacks, at least this defense has. So I think I'm gonna roll with the defense here, and I think we win. I don't think it's like an extreme, like a big blowout. I think we cover, but I think we pull away in the end. Because I think maybe they get like, maybe one big play or something, maybe connects with a deep ball or something like that. But I think we eventually win, probably like, I don't know, 14-34, but not like a complete domination. I feel like we pull away at the end. I feel like it's like 14-24 at the half, and then we, pull away in the second half.
All right, well there you go. Those what they think. You guys shared some pretty good analyses there. That's the plural for analysis, in case anybody's curious. But anyway, so yeah, you guys pretty much took all the words out of my mouth. Arkansas is a predominantly running team. Taylor Green has more rushing yards than he does passing, I believe. Dude is, he's a really good quarterback running the ball, and it's not necessarily like a dual threat type of thing where, they're really good passing and running. It's more of just they're really, really good running the ball. They've got a really good running back. I really, really like their rushing offense. But as you guys said, Tennessee is a predominantly really, really good against defending the run. So, okay, hold on. Who's got sitting here trying to
It's got to be Lucas because I have him muted.
I don't know what it would be.
Is your phone on the table or something? Because
I don't know how you're. I don't know how you're able to hear it. It's all the way over here.
Oh, okay. Well, anyway, point being, Tennessee is a predominantly really, really good team against defending the run, and that's really what Arkansas is strong at. And so I don't see it getting out of hand immediately, but towards the end of the game, as the game is progressing on and on, Arkansas they're going to start realizing that the run is not going to work against Tennessee. And I don't think they're going to I don't think they're going to succeed to nearly the status that Oklahoma did in terms of getting pressure on Nico. I don't know if Lance Hurd's going to be back in this game or not. I haven't seen the full injury report, but if he is, then it's going to be even tougher. And if he isn't, it's not going to make too much of a difference. I think Nico has a much easier time throwing the ball now that he's been battle tested on the road. And I think Tennessee runs the ball pretty well on Arkansas's defense. So all that to say, I think this game doesn't get out of hand immediately, but it will in the second half. I think they just start running all over Arkansas. They start getting more comfortable with passing the ball. And eventually I think Arkansas starts getting desperate. They start making mistakes, throw a few picks, maybe a pick or two. Point being, I think Tennessee wins this game pretty easily on the road at Arkansas. All right, and now to finish things off, we're all gonna give score predictions. And since Lucas went first on his take on the game, Julio, today you get to be the first one to give a score prediction. So let's hear it.
I think I said 14 to like 34, but after thinking about it, I think I might do like 17-38. Like we win to 17-38, 17-41, something like that.
All right, Lucas.
I'm gonna say Tennessee wins 38-10.
38-10. All right, and my score prediction will be 41-13. I think Tennessee sort of handles things towards the end of the second half, gets a few extra points to go along with it, and Arkansas eventually just runs out of gas. And that's how I think that's going to go. Will I be right? Probably not, because I haven't been right the last 5 times. I thought Tennessee was going to run away with the Oklahoma game, and look how that turned out. So we'll see if this team is really built different or if they're the same Tennessee that we've always known. And sometimes loved, sometimes hated. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
All right, well, that's going to do it here for the Vol-Star podcast. It's over an hour, so we got to go ahead and wrap this up. First off, let me catch up on the comments if there are any. I remember when Nebraska and Miami ran college football. Yeah, good times, I know. Great times. I'll tell you this, Ole Miss didn't play anybody for week after week after week. As soon as they played a team with the pulse, they folded. Easy front-loaded schedules can be a curse. Cannot disagree with that one. Then
you can't play Chuck E. Cheese University every week.
Yeah, right, exactly. Then Ian Berryman, the Razorback man in here, says he's talking about what I believe to be Taylon Green. He struggles with reads and accuracy. If Armstrong isn't open, he's running it. So more than likely that'll be easy to shut down. Just put Jermar McCoy on Armstrong, and sounds like the game is ours. No super chats for tonight, so I do not have to do any push-ups. No cardio for me today on the podcast. So that's all there is to it. Got any finalizing words to the people here on the podcast? Julio and Lucas?
Go Vols.
Oh, no, go Rice.
No go Vols? That's it?
Well, go Rice also. I was just eating something.
Okay, I got you. All right, well, yeah, nothing much else to say. As always, appreciate you guys for joining the podcast here. We'll be right back here next week when we get to talk about good old Billy Napier and the Florida Gators. So stick around for that next week. Same time as always here, Monday, 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. College Football Chaos will drop sometime Wednesday morning, hopefully. And until the next video or until the next stream, whatever happens next, I'll see you guys next time. And as always, of course, go Vols! And we're coming for the good old bacon, people. Tennessee wins big on the road at Arkansas. Your days are numbered, Razorback man. Whee! And hopefully you
Bacon
took a
bits.
game.